Hello, it's me, Finn, and I'm here to answer your questions. This is kind of weird. I feel like a YouTuber. I was gonna record this on my DSLR, but then I realized that the file size would be too big, and I would have to edit it and everything, so now I'm just recording it on my webcam. What do YouTubers say? Let's jump right into it. Okay, so the first question is, what is your favorite weather? My favorite weather is I'm like really between fall, like at the beginning of fall when it's like coming out of summer and it's starting to get a little bit cooler, but I don't like when it gets cold. Like when you wear like a light sweater or jacket, I think it's really nice and cozy and comfy. But I do really like summer when it's not too hot and there's a breeze and oh, I miss living next to the ocean so bad because the ocean breeze was all perfect and the air was salty. And yeah, that's really nice to me. So I like a lot of weathers as long as it's not like super cold and uncomfortable because I get really grumpy when it's cold. So the next question is if you could only use one drug for the rest of your life, what would you pick? I think the obvious answer here is ketamine. But two things that I would change if you could like change the molecular structure is that I wish that things felt soft because when you're on K, your hands, I always explain it as like your hands kind of feel like cardboard and like blankets and stuff doesn't really feel soft. And there was one other thing. I don't remember what the other thing is, but yeah, K, 100%. What's your perfect day? A perfect day for me would be going to the ocean, but that's not really realistic because in Berlin it's pretty far from the ocean. Um, but an attainable perfect day for me is just any day that I'm with my friends, especially Ava or Lynn. Like anytime I'm around them, it's really comfortable and sweet and cozy and cuddly, and I really like that. And yeah, just listening to music and having low key hangouts with no pressure. And I really like when you're with people and you are comfortable enough to just kind of do your own stuff and you don't really feel pressure to talk. And it's always like that with them. So that's really nice. And yeah, I think this is so awkward. I'm so sorry. I feel like yeah, not, yeah. Okay. What connects you into a book? I'm really bad at reading books. I feel very unintelligent when I hang around with people that read a lot because every time I read a book, I'll read a page and completely forget what I read, and then I have to read it again, and then it just keeps happening. But I like short stories a lot, and I like reading poetry a lot, and this makes me sound really smart, but I'm not. But I like reading about neuroplasticity. There's this book that I really like called The Brain That Changes Itself, and it has like scientific wording, but it's kind of more accessible for people. It's not like pretentious in its wording, and I highly recommend that. But why do I keep doing thumbs up? I don't know. Uh, what was Lynn for Halloween? She just did like makeup that was kind of like gory makeup. Like she got beat up, and then I thought that she actually got beat up, and I was kind of a mess for the entire day. But she did a really good job on it. It was very realistic, so props to her. um, what is learning for you when do you feel like learning the most? I do not like learning things when I'm not completely invested in learning the thing. Like in school, I did really terrible at math and science and stuff because I my brain just doesn't connect very well to learning things when I feel like I'm obligated to learn them. Like with music and writing and everything, I had really good grades in those, what are they called, subjects, because I was interested in them, and things like theater. And when I want to learn something, I'll learn it, and I think that I'm generally good at learning things that I want to learn, which is really nice. But yeah, if I'm learning and I feel pressured by somebody teaching me to learn something, then my brain is like, no, and it just kind of shuts itself off, and then I fail. So that's that. Do you have any plans for the new year ahead? I'm not really one of those people that make New Year's resolutions or anything, but within the next year, I'd really like to learn pottery, which I don't know if that is completely realistic for me because it takes tools and time and skills, and I'm not sure if I would be. Oh, another thing with learning. If I'm not immediately good at learning something, then I just don't want to do it, which kind of sucks because that's like you learn things to get better at them. And yeah, I just want to be I just want to be good the first try. So pottery is something that I potentially would really like to learn how to do, but I'm not sure how good I would be at it. Sorry, I keep playing with my hair. It's everywhere. And I would like, this is really cliche, but I would like to exercise more because I always just lay around and I'm like, oh, why do I feel so crappy? Why do I feel like shit? Why am I depressed? But it's because I don't really exercise. And even just when I used to wake up and just go for morning walks, I felt so much better the entire day, and I kind of got like a sense of accomplishment by doing that. So I think even just waking up and just going downstairs and going outside, taking a walk even just around the block every day, I think would be really nice. But obviously that's more hard in the winter. And I would like I would like to do less drugs, but we'll see how that goes. And I'd like to meet new people, more people, because I think I'm getting a lot better at learning how to be a person and learning how to be an okay conversationalist. And I know there's like a bunch of other things that I'd really like to do. Forging knives is another thing that I've always been interested in doing, but that takes tools and skills and stuff too. And more plants. I need to grow more plants because I really used to be into botany and learning about plants, and I'm really good at taking care of plants. It's kind of like having a pet or like a little baby that you can like grow and be a mom to, and it's really nice to have plants around. And I always say that I'm going to get plants for my flat, and I never do. So that's another thing. I just want to have this room filled like a little jungle or something. And have you ever considered getting piercings again? I always loved your bridge piercing. My bridge piercing was one of my favorite piercings of all time, but the thing with bridge piercings is they like never heal. And so I took it out, and I was actually talking to my friend earlier today about piercings because I've had a lot of piercings. I've had most things pierced, but I just didn't feel like they suited my face. But I'd like to get more ear piercings and start wearing earrings, and I really want to get my nipples pierced, but I'm terrified. And I know that they have a hard time healing too, but that's kind of like a New Year's resolution to face my fears and get my nips done. Aw, you seem so sweet. What, if anything, makes you annoyed or angry? One thing that's kind of silly that I shouldn't get so upset about, but I do, is I have like sidewalk road rage, where if I'm walking behind people and they're walking very slow, I get really angry inside, and I like sometimes, like, when people are walking slow in front of you and then you try to like walk fast and pass them, but then they speed up and it's like a race. It's really, really awkward. Um, I don't like that. I really don't like that. And like the obvious things like racism and homophobia, that shit pisses me off really bad. And people that are judgmental, I have a hard time dealing with, especially like unsolicited advice pertaining to like drug use and things. Like when people talk to me in this condescending way, like, you shouldn't do so many drugs, you need to quit, da da da. And like, I don't mind if it's somebody that I'm close to and they're expressing genuine concern. But I think a lot of the time when people message me that I don't know very well, telling me that like I need to be careful or I like need to stop doing drugs, it's just kind of like to jerk themselves off, and it's really condescending, and I don't like that at all. I think those are the big ones. I don't really get angry very easily, but yeah, just certain things like that are kind of annoying, or very annoying to me. And the last one, Honey Angel Baby, my honey angel baby. She asked, my question is, how are you so great? Also, when can I share a coffee with you? And I think you're so great, and I want to share a coffee with you, and I want to hug you so much. And you will come to Berlin, and we'll share lots of nice coffees. And yeah, that would be cool. I hope I didn't seem like an asshole, like not like a mean asshole in this video, but yeah, recording myself talking is something that I need to get better at, because usually when I'm recording it's like me making porn, which seems more natural to me than just talking about myself in front of a camera. But yeah, those are all the questions that I got, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, leave your opinions in the comments below. My cigarette went out. Okay, goodbye. I love you. Goodbye.